Hey, welcome back to Bobb-z Callahan's Word of Advice. And for this video, which is continuing the little series of videos inspired by a main theme which I heard about at a vacation Bible school, I wanted to talk about the topic of giving. And for those of you out there watching this, I know there may be some of you out there who may find it a little difficult to give, or you may know of people who are kind of believing what is a popular idea, which is that we should not really worry about giving and we should worry just about ourselves. You know, it is in popular culture today to believe that just worrying about ourselves and not really giving is okay, and for everybody else out there, they can fend for themselves and, they can be given stuff by other people. But in reality, I believe it is important that we should all try to give. And I realize that giving may be hard for some of us. Maybe we have always been trying to keep everything we have. Or maybe some of you out there watching this are just beginning to give. And, you're trying to reprogram your mind and you're trying to think to yourself, yeah, I should give, but it's difficult. And in this video, I really want to emphasize that giving is not as hard as you may think it is. I think one of the most common examples of giving, which is stressed in the world, is giving money to people or giving money to something. And while that is definitely an example of giving, it is not the only example of it. And that is not the only example of giving which can apply to you. You can give by serving somewhere, like serving at church, whether it's at a youth group or a vacation Bible school. You can give of your time to go out and help somebody out who needs a huge favor. You can also give by simply talking with somebody and just trying to give that person any love or support they need and giving them advice. Giving is not just limited to writing a check to a big charity or to a friend you know. Yes, giving money can be helpful, but I know that it's not always as easy for a lot of people out there, and I just believe that example of giving has been really stressed over time to the point where some people may believe that they can't give because they don't have enough money to give. No, I believe that, as I said, there are other examples of giving, and we are all capable of giving in some way. There are opportunities which can come our way, and that may be a chance for us to give in some way possible. And yeah, maybe if we go out and try to give however we can, it may take up some of our time, and it may not always be easy. There may be times when we are giving and perhaps we are taking on a challenge which will require us to give, but it's a little difficult. Like, let's say you're giving of your time to be a leader at a youth program, but you haven't really been much of a leader. That may be out of your comfort zone. But as I talked about in earlier videos, when you step out of your comfort zone and do great things, then you can grow as a result. But when you give, there may be times when you're going out of your comfort zone. This may also apply to times when you are giving some money to somebody who really needs it, or perhaps you are giving away some of your possessions, and it may be difficult to let go. I have been there, I've done that, and I've realized that giving is not always easy, but it is a lot easier than you think. You know, as I said, there are other ways to give besides writing a check or giving a few bucks to a friend. And also, I do believe if you practice a healthy way to give to other people, then over time, you should find that giving in some way to other people will be very rewarding, because when you give and you help somebody else out, then you are passing on love and support to other people, and that is one of the things that we are called to do by God. And I believe that when you pass on love and support, when you give to other people, then not only can you make somebody else really happy, but you may also feel very happy, because after you have given to somebody, then you'll probably think to yourself that you did something really right. And you can always find those opportunities to give, like, very often. So, if there's really any main point I want to make in this video, if I haven't made it already, I would say go out and give. And just remember, giving is not just limited to writing a check. And there may be times when we try to give, it may be a little out of our comfort zone. But as I said, when you step out of your comfort zone for a good cause, then you can grow as a result, and you can make other people very happy. Lastly, if there's anything I would also like to throw out about giving, you know, just be careful on how you give to other people. You know, you don't want to turn into that person who is constantly, and I mean constantly, giving to one individual, and it reaches the point where that individual is trying to rip you off. Because that can turn into the point where you are giving, but it's not helping the other person out. So be sure that you do watch yourself when you are giving to other people, because you may run into people who will try to take advantage of that. In the end, though, just always try to give, and you know, when you are giving in a healthy way, then you can help other people out in a huge way, and you can also grow as a result. And remember, even if giving may seem hard at times, I do believe that giving is a lot easier than it may seem. So, always seek out those opportunities to give to others. Always try to give in a healthy way. And remember, when you give to somebody else, you can change a life for the better. And you can grow as a result. And with that, this is pretty much all I have to talk about on this topic. Certainly hope what I've had to talk about on the topic of giving has been understandable and it will help you. Come back for another word of advice video.